I used to just be in my room just thinking. There's even times where I'd cry about it, but it's just like, if I don't get through this, who will?
So you moved from Ivory Coast to London when you were 4 years old, and you come from a really big family, 5 brothers, 3 sisters, and you were living in a 3-bedroom house. Tell us a bit about what it was like growing up in your household.
It was hard, obviously. It wasn't easy, but we just had to make do with what we had, really. And we're a rather close family, so we just enjoyed each other's company. We just had to make it work, really. It's just like a few of us in each room, really, and it's just like, you're all snuggled up together.
Yeah.
But we just had to deal with it, and we just enjoyed it, really.
Again, I know you mentioned in another interview that when you were younger, your dad used to drive you to football practice. Have your family or your parents always supported you and wanting to do football?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, others were doing what they had to do as well, but it's a thing where everyone knew how much I wanted to play football, and my dad played football when he was younger as well.
Right.
So he knew what it meant to love playing football, so he supported me constantly. Obviously, he took me to training all the time. And yeah, my mum's supported, but it's a thing where she doesn't really get it too much. But yeah, my dad was with me 24/7.
So then, when did you know that it was no longer a hobby, but football was it was something you wanted to do in your career? Because everyone does extra, curricular activities when they're younger. But when did you know what, this is what I want to do?
Football is a thing that I've always wanted to do. There's not a moment where it clicked and it was just like, oh, I really like this. It was a thing where I've always wanted to play football. The only point where it hit me that it was getting serious is when I got scouted from my Sunday league team to go and to go and have a trial with Crystal Palace.
Okay.
And that's when I thought, okay, this is where I actually need to prove that I'm good enough, basically. That's when the journey started properly.
And then the trial with Crystal Palace, how was that? Do you remember how it felt, how you felt afterwards?
Yeah, I can remember that like it was yesterday. I went, where we even trained was on AstroTurf. And it was just I've never trained on this before. I was like, what is this? But I was just silent, because in my head I was just thinking, I'm here to do a job. I'm here to just prove to these guys. I wasn't even really speaking to anyone. But yeah, I was nervous, but at the same time I was nervous because I'm around different people, new people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing I was never. Do you know when you're nervous and you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm not good enough? I was never that kind of person. I always believed in my own talent. So it was just just give me the ball so I can show you, basically.
Yeah. And then the moment that you got that phone call, that message to say, look, we want to sign you, what was that like?
It was mad, because obviously they scouted me and two other friends of mine, and so there was 3 of us, and obviously they spoke to everyone, and I went and spoke to the guy, and he was just like, yeah, we want to keep you or whatever. I was just thinking, that's mad. It's just I'm actually finally playing for a proper team. I'm playing for Crystal Palace, so yeah, I was happy, man. It was unreal.
And then how did your dad react? Him having taken you to all your training sessions, and then also having that love for football, he must have been so proud of you.
Yeah, he was, man. Obviously, I owe it all to him, really, because he used to just take me to training throughout crazy weathers, and we had nothing. So, he used to take me in the deadest cars, and we used to just break down, and then we had to push the cars and so much different things. But it's all the hard work he's put in, it's paid off, basically.
So then, your first match when you stepped out on the pitch playing for Crystal Palace, what was that like?
The way I was grinning teeth was crazy before when because I actually, what's it called? Basically, I came on that there was a week leading up where there was a manager called Paul Hart who basically throughout the week he was just speaking to me like, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" Basically, I was thinking, "Wow, I might actually get a feature in this game." Do you know what I mean? But yeah, basically, I remember it like it was yesterday. Like we played against Cardiff, and I came on. I think it was the last game season or something, and I came on the last 5 minutes or something, and like I was grinning so much, like it was mad, because I was thinking I'm finally gonna be able to get on the pitch, like, and just like all the hard work show these people, whatever. And like when I came on, I was just buzzing around, like running around. Even if I don't have the ball, I was just running around. And I did like 1 or 2 tricks or whatever. And obviously the Palace team always had wingers. Do you know what I mean? And it's like they were buzzing because they could see already small potential. Like when I came on, I did a few tricks so they could see what type of player I was. Do you know what I mean? So I got decent reviews after the game, even though I played only like 5 minutes. But yeah, I was just happy to get on, man.
And when you're that young, having that discipline, how did you manage to balance your social life and then chasing your dream at the same time?
To be honest, it wasn't really hard for me because I was what's it called? Just straight tunnel vision for me. Like I was never strayed by any other. Obviously, there was times where I'd look at my friends and think, oh my God, I'm missing out on so much. Because like from secondary school, I didn't go to college, I didn't go to whatever. And I used to think, like, look at all the girls these lot know if I'm going to whatever. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, that's a small sacrifice. Like I didn't go to parties. I remember one time I came back home at 6 o'clock. And my dad told me to stay outside since I like going outside so much. It's like 6 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? So.
Oh my God, wait, so 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
Wow.
And I've left during the day. So a couple hours, 6 p.m, I'm getting locked out, getting told to stay out. When there's guys that do whatever, do you know what I mean? Like parties, I didn't go to that, nothing. Like so many years like that because obviously I had strict parents, do you know what I mean? But I didn't do so much, but then after it just made so much sense. Do you know what I mean? Sacrificing so much because there's always so much people that want to play football, but then they're not willing to sacrifice the other stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't do so much stuff, but in the end, I'm happy that I didn't.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people that I feel like go semi-pro and then they never make it because of things like that, because they don't have the discipline and they don't.
It takes a lot. It actually takes a lot, man, because obviously there was times where obviously I had school friends and then you get into a little silliness and stuff like that, but I just never thought, okay, I'm going to pursue this lifestyle of a bad man or whatever, because it's just like, what am I gaining from this? Do you know what I mean? It's actually just a waste of time. So obviously I had friends or whatever, but I've always wanted to do one thing and just play football.
Obviously, you had started your professional football career in Crystal Palace, but then there was a time where you signed to Man U, and that period of time probably didn't go as well as you would have hoped that it did. During that time, how did you deal with that?
That was such a hard time for me because obviously, I was staying with my brother and his family for a bit, but obviously they had to come back because they had their own life. So there's a period where I was by myself and I just had to deal with so much craziness because it's like my job was to play football, and I've moved from my family in London where I've always been to go up there to play football, and I'm not playing football. So I felt like, what exactly am I doing up here? Do you know what I mean? And then obviously there was loads of other stuff like having like all this exposure and all like. That with me going to Man United was when the world knew about me. Do you know what I mean? So it's totally different. Like them times I could tweet something and it would blow up and go viral. Like it's like, what the hell? Like I've never ever dealt with anything like that. And these times I'm like 19, 20. So it's just like this is just a mad move. But yeah, it was hard for me, man. But all I can say is just God really. Like I used to just try and pray hard because I feel like my life is a testament like to God working in your life, because I went from that, and that period could have really broke me. And I used to get up, go training, knowing that I will not be picked. I won't get picked to play. Nothing. I won't be. I wasn't even on the bench. I would be in the stands. So it's like, I know this is going to happen, but it's always believing in yourself, no matter what. Even if everyone else doesn't, you have to believe that you're a good player, and that's what kept me going.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm going through all this. It's fine, because God's got me, and I believe in myself. My talent has brought me here, and it won't stop me. So that's why I told myself every day, even though it used to frustrate me, I used to just be in my room, just thinking. There's even times where I'd cry about it, but it's just like, if I don't get through this, who will?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I've got a family that I'm doing this for myself, and I'm doing this for my family. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was a tough period, but it made me stronger mentally. It made me know what I want.
Yeah. And then also dealing with that sudden exposure, like you said, like if you tweet something, it just completely blows up. Obviously, we know with social media there can be a lot of negative things that are said. And how did you deal with that? I'm sure you still have to even deal with it now, but especially at that time, being in that place where you did feel kind of low, how did you manage to deal with those negative things people were saying?
To be honest, them times I didn't deal with it well, because it's like, I've never really got that much. I used to get so much abuse for no reason, so much different nonsense that I was just like, how do people put up with this constantly? And it's like, I would argue with fans. It's just like, you should never lower yourself to that, because all they want is for you to reply, and then they'll retweet and be happy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like, there was so much stuff, and I wasn't being helped at all with it. Do you know what I mean? So it would like, when I look back, it would look so dumb, because it's like, I'm actually arguing with people on my timeline. Do you know what I mean? But they're thinking, oh my God, I'm arguing with Wilfried Zaha. Do you know what I mean? But now it's just like, I don't give it. I do not care. Do you know what I mean? I don't care at all. Like, I just block you instantly as soon as you bring negativity. I just block you. Then you can't see my page. I have people like, because I've blocked them, or I've blocked their friend on Instagram, they'll tweet me like, can you unblock my friend please? It's like, yeah, you can get blocked as well. So yeah, man, I have no time for negativity, man. I get so much of it. No, but at the same time, the goodness outweighs the negativity. But even if you get 10 good messages, that one person that'll say something negative, you just think, why? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, now I don't really care, man. I just do what I do anyway.
So then, stepping out of that period, and then you came back to Crystal Palace, what did that feel like?
It felt like coming back home. Do you know what I mean? Do you know when you're just appreciated proper for, they know what you're capable of, and they just appreciate everything you do. So it was nice. I was back in Croydon, back near my family. Yeah. Like most of the time, like this is what I do with my dad. What's it called? Most Fridays before the game, I go and pray with him. Yeah. Or he'll come here or whatever. And then after the game, or the day after, I go and we'll just sit down and speak about what I could have done better, or what, like normal stuff, you know. So yeah, it was nice just coming back, man, and just playing football again, because that's all I wanted to do, nothing else.
Yeah. So the beginning of this season, you incurred an injury, and obviously physically it takes time to heal, but mentally, how do you deal with that period in time? Because you don't know how long it's going to take, you don't know how long you're going to be out. How do you get through that time?
Just mental strength, really, because like, see, realistically at first, yeah, when you get injured or whatever, you're thinking about, obviously, when they tell you how bad it is or whatever, when you come to terms with it, it's just like, yeah, okay, fine, I have to just deal with this. And at that period, you're just thinking, oh yeah, I might be able to get a couple of days off. Do you know what I mean? Like, they give you a bit of time where you can just go away and chill, and that period is a nice period. Even though you're injured, you get to go away. But then when you come back, the rehab bit of it, it's just like, this is so dead and long. That's where the mental strength comes in, because it's like, you go in and do the same thing every day. Yeah. Imagine it. Every single day you go in, you do up gym uppers, you do some next stuff where you hold rope, and it's just like it gets so tiring, but it's just like, oh yeah, same again, same time again tomorrow, same time again tomorrow. That's the bit that's so hard. But yeah, it's all like football's so much mental. You just have to, once you're strong mentally, you can overcome so much stuff. And that's what I had to understand. Like, I had two injuries, like 2 knee injuries on both of my knees, and I've never been injured to a point where I'm out for 2 months, 3 months before. So it's mad, because it's like I'm like, before, like this is it's like this was meant to happen for me, because it's like before I never used to do much gym stuff.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I was growing up, I would just put my boots on and go out and play. Do you know what I mean? But when you're a professional, there's so much stuff that you need to do. Like gym is such a vital part of it, and it's only till I got injured that I realized that this is vital. Do you know what I mean? Because like with the knee injuries I had, if you don't work on it properly, if you don't make it stronger properly, it will just go again.
Yeah.
And then you'll be out for like a year. There's people that are out for like a year, you know. Imagine that. So yeah, man, mental strength and just getting through it.
And like, I know a few people that they didn't actually make it pro, but they got an injury before making it pro. And it's like, and a lot of people will say, obviously being in your position, like the resources that you have, it can encourage your kind of recovery time. What would be your advice to someone that's, I don't know, semi-pro now and gets an injury? What would be your advice in terms of just getting through that stage and continuing on to actually going on to pursue their career?
It depends how much you want something. Like the way what's it called? The way I wanted to play football, there's nothing else. I'll do anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'd look forward to football like crazy. Even if the car breaks down and I have to get out and push it, I would. It's how much you want something. When you want it, there's nothing you won't do for it. There's no you know what, I'd rather 9 to 5 or whatever. No, however, and it's not about resources, because there's YouTube, there's whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can do whatever to however long it takes, as long as you get back. If you really want to become a football player, you will. Like, you gotta work at it. That's why it's not just anyone that becomes a footballer. Do you know what I mean? There was so many of us in school. Everyone wants to be a footballer, but who is determined to go through those days where it feels like you can't anymore?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the difference, man. Why are you determined to just stay in your house when everyone else is going to the best party of the year? No, exactly. Yeah. But then at the end of the day, like, I'm speaking from my own experience. When I was getting a bus by myself, I remember, what's it called? Like bumping into some people from my primary school or whatever, and they were like, oh yeah, holler me when you're famous, yeah. As I was going past them to get on the bus to go to training. These times I'm no one, do you know what I mean? So, and it's like, now everyone wants to be your friend, do you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's just about putting the hard work in, really. Nothing can set you back. It's only you if you don't want to do it.
Yeah. So in addition to coming back home to Crystal Palace, you also then signed with Ivory Coast. What was it like being approached by your home team? How did that feel?
That whole thing was just mad, because it's like, obviously it's an honour, but the whole reason why I ended up going back to Ivory Coast is because basically this what happened. Like, I came here when I was 4, and basically it's like, all I know is England. I've lived here. All my friends are here. I've done everything here. Do you know what I mean? So I actually blew off Ivory Coast at the beginning, because it's like, I've been in England since however long. Do you know what I mean? So maybe it falls best if I play for England. Do you know what I mean? Then it's like, I've done that, and Ivory Coast was just like, okay, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? So now I want to play for England, and then, as I said, I played one game against Sweden where I had like 5 minutes at the end. And then the next game I played like 20 minutes, which was 2 friendlies. I played 20 minutes against Scotland, and then I was never picked again. Never picked again. And imagine 4 years in a footballer's life, 4 years, no international football. It's just like, it's crazy, do you know what I mean? And it's like, it got to a point where it was just like ridiculous, like, what am I waiting for? There's no point, do you know what I mean? And I want to play international football, and there's my country that are willing to, they see what I bring to the team. Do you know what I mean? Why am I sitting there and second best, whatever, like, there's no point me sitting around. And they approached me again, and I thought, this is, maybe God is telling me I have to play for my country.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I've turned them down before, and they were still keen to take me. So I was just like, yeah, it's a no-brainer, man. I feel like it's best I play for Ivory Coast. And obviously I've been asked if because of the World Cup, because England are in the World Cup, if I regret making that move. And it's just like, no, I'm happy with the decision I made.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The way I'm valued over there is crazy. Like, I went back recently because we had a game over there. That was the game where, we could have gone to the World Cup, but we lost. But I haven't been back since I was 4. And I went back when we had to play Morocco. And I did, like, with Crystal Palace, they did some little thing going back home, returning home thing for me. Yeah. And it's like, when I got to the airport, so much people were there. Like, the reception, like, the happiness I saw when I came back, and it's just like, I haven't been back since I was 4, do you know what I mean? So people just seeing me there, me playing for the country, it just made so much people happy, and it made me happy as well. So it's just like, this is definitely the right move for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I know that you fund a tournament back in Ivory Coast every year. How important is giving back to your country for you? It's
massive, obviously. Like, when I went back, I see how things are over there, and it's like, I've come from that, do you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm happy that I can actually help out other kids like me, obviously, being able to just go to a tournament and get like free kit and stuff, and just enjoy playing football, really. So that's one thing that I'm happy that I can help with back there.
And as well as football, you've also started your own clothing line. Where did that kind of desire come to want to start that?
It's a thing where I'm heavy into my fashion anyway, and it's like, I'll go looking for stuff, and it's just like, I cannot find it at all. Like, and it's things like specific things in my head. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not gonna find it because it's like, it's things in my head. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, I just thought, why can't I make something myself?
Yeah.
That's me. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, let me make something that obviously, when my time's done here, it lives on. Yeah. That's where Long Live came from. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, that came from that idea. Obviously, it wasn't easy, but I just stuck with it because obviously I wanted to make my own clothing and be comfortable in it. That's where it came from.
And as well as doing football, having a clothing line, you also have a son. Becoming a father, what is that like?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It definitely changes your life. Like I have no patience, but this guy, I have to have patience with him. Do you know what I mean? Because he's literally exactly like me, and it's like, this is a little human being that depends on you constantly. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like waking up at stupid times at night to give him a bottle or just to change his bum or whatever, and it's just like, this guy depends on me like crazy. So there's just nothing I wouldn't do for him, and it's just like, every time I step out of my house, I've got a purpose. Do you know what I mean? I do all this for you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it puts life into perspective, you know what I mean? When I'm with him or whatever, it's just like, yeah, this is my little man.
Yeah. I feel like your story, I don't know, it really, really does inspire me, because it does just show that you can come from nothing to something so amazing, and it really is about your mental attitude. Like, how much you want something is so true, what you've said, that how much you want something will really determine whether you get it or whether you don't. So what is next for Wilfried Zaha?
I'm just trying to work on myself overall, really, as a person, as a footballer. And obviously, I feel like I've had a good season. Obviously, I managed to win Player of the Year. I won Player of the Month in the Prem, which is massive for me because it's like there's so much talented footballers in the Prem, and I managed to win it. So me personally, that's massive for me. Do you know what I mean? It shows me that all the hard work I've put in is starting to, people are starting to see it, and it's starting to be shown on the pitch as well. So I'm just trying to make myself a better player and just take things one step at a time and see how things go.